Level 1. The bedroom artist. You're 16. Your room holds a twin bed and a closet stuffed with clothes you never wear. In the corner sits a cheap USB mic, bought with 4 months of summer job wages. You also own a laptop that freezes when too many tabs are open, plus a free recording program downloaded last year. This is your studio. This is where it starts. At school you scribble lyrics in a notebook when you should be listening to the teacher, who assumes you're taking notes. Really, you're writing about a girl who has no idea you exist. After school you record for hours, layering vocal take after vocal take, humming melodies into your phone at 2 a.m. You wake up cringing at what you sang, but you replay it anyway. Sometimes a phrase or feeling worth keeping hides in there. You hunt for it. You post the songs to SoundCloud and Instagram. You have 47 followers, 23 classmates, 12 relatives, the rest strangers who followed back after you followed first. You refresh your play count hourly. 8 plays today, you're sure 6 were you. You claim the numbers don't matter. They matter more than almost anything else right now. They feel like proof you exist. Your dad asks when you'll get serious about college. Your mom calls the songs beautiful, kind, and useless. Your friends promise to listen and never do. You learn early that attention isn't owed, it's earned, though you don't yet know how. So you keep recording, keep posting, keep waiting. Nothing happens. You keep going anyway. Some nights you erase everything. Other nights you record until 4 a.m. and pass out with headphones still on. The songs aren't great yet, you know that. You're training your ear to catch what's missing. Level 2. The local act. You're 19, dropped out of community college after 1 term. You work a coffee shop job 3 days a week. The rest belongs to music. Your gear has improved: a real condenser mic, a closet lined with moving blankets and foam panels. The vocals sound better, not perfect. Your first open mic at a downtown bar draws 11 people. 6 of them other performers waiting their turn. Your hands shake walking to the stage. You blank on a verse you've played 1,000 times, finish anyway. Someone claps. You leave feeling like you died and came back, already plotting the next one. You start booking coffee shops, bookstore back rooms, a vegan restaurant that trades free food for music during dinner service. You land on bills with 3 other acts, everyone hustling, everyone swapping follows and cross-promoting. The venue pays the headliner $40, split 4 ways. You clear $10 for a 45-minute set and spend $15 on a ride home. The math never works at this stage, you do it anyway since it's the only path forward. You meet a drummer juggling 3 bands, a producer who stocks shelves by day and tracks artists in his basement for $100 a session, a girl whose songs move you. You form a duo that dissolves in 6 weeks over creative friction and unspoken feelings. Collaborations at this level end faster than they start. You learn most people quit, and the ones who don't aren't necessarily more gifted, just more stubborn. You choose stubbornness. Your next self-recorded album, released free, earns 400 streams in a month. Progress, you tell yourself, unconvinced. You start playing house shows, 40 kids crammed into a damp basement under Christmas lights, sound terrible, energy electric. A stranger sings your own lyrics back to you. That moment rewires you. You'll chase it for a decade without fully grasping how addictive it is. Level 3. The independent artist. You're 23 with a full-length project on streaming, uploaded through a distributor that schemes a cut of every play. You have 3,000 monthly Spotify listeners, a number that matters more than your old GPA ever did. You check it daily like ritual, moods rising and falling with it. A career is taking shape. A website, merch, a logo a friend designed and you printed on 50 shirts now boxed in your apartment. 12 sold at your last show. The rest will sit a year before you give them away to relatives. Nobody warns you about merch math, you learn it yourself. You go on your first DIY tour. 7 cities, 9 days, floors and couches for beds, 1 night in the back of a van after a host stops answering. Crowds range from 80 to 4. The 4-person crowd hits in a city where you thought you had fans, you did, they just didn't show. You play the set like it's for 4,000 anyway. Every musician you admire taught you that rule. Small blogs start covering you. College radio spins a track. A music supervisor wants a song for an indie film that will never release. You sign a contract you barely understand for $200 and call it progress, unsure if it is. You keep going because stopping feels worse. Your songwriting is sharpening, you can hear it, and a few others can too, just not enough yet. You start emailing booking agents. Most ignore you. One signs you but treats it as a side hustle, replying to one of every 3 emails. You realize nobody's coming to rescue you, no agent, label, or viral break. You have to build your own momentum, showing up daily for work nobody notices. You keep at it because there's no other option. Level 4. The rising artist. You're 26 and something has shifted. A single release 6 months back caught fire unlike anything before it. A playlist curator added it, then a bigger playlist, then bigger still. Monthly listeners jump from 8,000 to 40,000 to 120,000 in 3 months. You refresh analytics until your phone dies. Labels start calling not giants, but legitimate indies with major distribution. Emails route through your one-person management team, Chris, a former venue booker learning contracts as he goes, alongside you. You fly to LA and New York for the first time, sit across from A&R reps who claim to believe in you while checking their phones. You eat sushi you can't afford, paid for by people angling for a piece of your career. You sign a deal, not the dream deal from age 16, but a 360 agreement with an indie label taking cuts of touring, merch, publishing, masters. You read it 6 times. A lawyer calls it standard for your level. Standard shifts meaning by level here, it means surrendering a lot for a little. You sign anyway, needing the infrastructure, the budget, the team, telling yourself the next deal will be better like everyone does. You quit your job, finally a full-time musician, something you've wanted since 16. You expected flight. It feels like falling. Every song now has to perform, every video has to land. The label wants numbers, your manager wants numbers, your bank account wants numbers. The music you made unwatched was pure. The music you make now gets watched before it's finished. Something in you grieves that quietly. You keep working. Level 5. The touring artist. You're 28. Your second major release lands well enough to headline 1,200 capacity venues nationwide. Most sell out, the ones that don't haunt you for weeks as you pore over the data, wondering what went wrong in Cleveland. You're not losing steam, you're just exhausted, and the industry rarely distinguishes the two, nor can you sometimes. You're on an actual tour bus now, 12 bunks, a small kitchen, a back lounge smelling of whoever rented it last. You lead a band of 4 plus a tour manager, merch seller, and sound engineer, a small traveling business under your name. You travel 300 miles a night, play a 90-minute show every evening for 70 straight days. Your signature is on every check. Your name is on every marquee. Feeding, housing, and paying 9 people falls on you. Off days mean interviews, radio visits, social videos shot between soundcheck and doors. You sign merch for 40 minutes nightly, meeting fans who say your songs carried them through divorce, depression, a parent's funeral. You look each one in the eye, they've earned that. Then you return to your bunk and stare at the ceiling. The weight of strangers' pain is heavier than expected, and nobody warned you. Your relationships fray. The person you were dating when you signed isn't the same person now. You haven't been home more than a week in 18 months. Dust coats your apartment. Your mother cries over FaceTime about another missed Thanksgiving. You apologize, mean it, and will miss the next one too. The tour must go on, you chose this, you remind yourself, though some nights the choice feels like it's choosing you. Sleep unravels on a bunk moving at highway speed. You shut your eyes in Pittsburgh and open them in Detroit, your body losing track of time zones. Your voice starts cracking at soundcheck. The label's vocal coach flies in for an emergency session, finds nodules forming on your cords, orders 2 weeks of rest. You cancel 4 shows, eating a $40,000 refund bill, and spend 14 silent days in a hotel room writing in a notebook instead. Those songs, born in silence, are among your best. Nobody will hear them for 2 more years. Level 6. The charting artist. You're 31 when a song goes viral on a short-form video app and reshapes your career overnight. It wasn't even the intended single, a quiet album track a stranger in Ohio used in a tribute video to her late grandmother. The clip hits 40 million views and suddenly you're everywhere. The song climbs the Hot 100, then the top 40, then the top 10. You're a pop artist now, though you never quite were before. The press once called you a crossover singer-songwriter. Now the press just says pop. The label pairs you with producers who've worked with the industry's biggest names, flying you to LA to write with 22-year-olds who already have 3 number ones behind them. You write 15 songs in a week, most aren't really yours, committee-built patchworks of current trends you don't love but record anyway. You perform on late-night TV in an outfit costing more than your first year's rent, lip-syncing on a morning show because the monitors are unreliable and live vocals would flop. You've learned which battles matter. This isn't one. Celebrities praise your song without any proof they've heard it. You smile, thank them, snap the photo, post it, watch the numbers climb again, feeling lighter and emptier at once, unsure what to do with that, so you do nothing. Real money arrives for the first time, not generational, but real. You clear student loans, buy your mother a car, buy yourself a house back home you don't actually want to live in, just to prove the investment is real to your family. Your accountant explains quarterly taxes, LLCs, splitting income across touring, publishing, and merch entities. You sign papers without reading closely enough, trusting people mostly because everyone else does. That's how it works at this level. You learn it eventually. Level 7. The headliner. You're 34, playing arenas now, 12,000 to 18,000 seats. You're not the world's biggest act, but big enough that the machine around you has grown massive. 42 trucks on tour. A stage designer, lighting designer, video director, choreographer, creative director, and a 6-figure tour manager whose job is stopping the whole operation from collapsing daily. You walk onto a stage built to make you look divine as 15,000 people scream your name, reciting lyrics you wrote as a bedroom teenager nobody cared about. The collision of both selves nearly topples you some nights. Staying present is the actual job, and the crowd feels it the instant you slip. You have a team, not an entourage assistant, bodyguard, publicist, road manager, a personal trainer keeping you fit for 2-hour sets, a vocal coach who preps you with herbal tea and orders 24-hour voice rest when needed. You're as much athlete as artist. The voice is the instrument, and instruments were down with no replacement. Your second record deal looks nothing like the first, a true partnership. Masters owned, creative approval, a budget once unimaginable, and far more to lose. Walking away from the first deal cost nothing because you had nothing. Walking from this one would cost dearly. The higher you climb, the more the cage resembles a palace. A line you once scrawled in a notebook years ago and now can't stop hearing. False stories spread, invented affairs, exaggerated tantrums, strangers dissecting your body and choices online. You stop reading anything about yourself. Your publicist quietly stops forwarding links, insisting it's better for you, and she's right. You start therapy and meditation. Your therapist signs an NDA before session 1 and charges $600 an hour, worth every cent. You learn the public's version of you isn't the real one, and protecting the private self from the public myth is the actual skill. The ones who never learn it don't survive this level. Level 8. The icon. You're 39 with a catalog now, not just songs, a body of work spinning endlessly on radio and playlists worldwide. You've won major awards, stood on the biggest stages holding trophies, thanked your mother, your team, your fans, then walked into a night every major outlet will cover by morning. You've become one of the figures rather than a person. Your name shorthand for a sound, an era, a feeling. Young artists cite you as influence in their own acceptance speeches. Watching them feels like glimpsing your own reflection across the street. You've become the poster on someone's bedroom wall. Real, generational money has arrived, requiring wealth managers, tax attorneys, estate planners. You hold stakes in tech startups, real estate, a tequila brand a friend talked you into, and a charitable foundation with a staff and a board you technically chair but rarely attend. You're a business now, one whose dozens of employees depend on your continued relevance, a weight that lingers in quiet moments, hard to explain to anyone who hasn't carried it. Enemies you never knew you had surfaced through lawsuits, leaked emails, and interviews from former collaborators describing a version of you that doesn't sound quite right, yet holds just enough truth to sting. Fame distorts memory, it makes the past negotiable. You have to choose which version of your own story you believe, and that choice is harder than it sounds. Level 9. The legend. You're 52, 3.5 decades into this. You've outlasted whole genres, whole platforms, whole generations of artists meant to replace you. 14 albums to your name, some masterpieces, some missteps you've made peace with, a few from stretches of your life you barely remember, years smeared by drugs, divorce, or depression. You headline festivals now as the legacy act, your name printed slightly larger at the top of the bill, the one parents bring their teenagers to see, the one closing Saturday's main stage as fireworks explode behind you. The crowd skews older, but young faces still fill the front rows, raised on your songs playing in family cars, knowing every word the way their parents did. Music passes through families in ways the industry never fully grasps, and you benefit from it now. Tributes honor you. Other artists cover your songs on televised ceremonies while you sit in the crowd fighting tears. A museum opens a permanent exhibit on your career. A studio pitches a biopic. The script is mediocre, so you push for changes and hire a consultant to guide the writer. The film, 2 years out, will turn out fine, being the best you can hope for when someone else narrates your life, and better than most artists ever get. For the first time, you genuinely consider what comes after, not death exactly, though it's nearer now, but whether the work was worth its price. You think of missed birthdays, friendships worn thin by tour buses and time zones, children you never had because the career left no room, or children you had but saw less of than your fans did. You don't regret the music itself, it's grown bigger than you, existing on its own now, but the cost was real. Was always real. Level 10. The Ancestor. You're gone fast or slow, it doesn't matter now. Obituaries run that morning in every major outlet. Streaming platforms pin your catalog to their homepages. Your songs trend everywhere for 48 straight hours. Artists you never met post tributes. Presidents issue statements. Your hometown stadium hosts a memorial concert. Millions watch online, crying into their phones. Your music outlives you, that was always the plan, the trade you made. Years for songs now finalized. The songs remain. A 17-year-old in a country you never set foot in finds your first album on a playlist 30 years later, listening on cheap headphones in the dark, crying in her room at 2 a.m. to a song you wrote in your own bedroom at 16. She knows nothing about you and everything that matters. Your estate strikes a deal with a holographic tech company, one a version of you will tour again without your consent or presence, your children approving the set list, the ethics debated in articles your own family barely schemes while the checks keep clearing. Your name becomes a sample, your voice recreated by AI. A young producer loops 4 seconds of an old vocal into a beat that becomes a hit on a platform that didn't exist in your lifetime, made by someone who's never heard your album, only your sample pulled from a pack he bought online. Your currency now raw material, a source. Somewhere tonight, a 16-year-old sits in a bedroom with a cheap USB mic and a laptop that keeps crashing, recording vocals over a beat from yesterday, hands shaking. She has 47 followers and a notebook of songs no one's heard, the same feeling you had at her age. She has no idea what she's about to sacrifice or gain, how much the road will cost, what it will take, and what it will build. She'll find out. They always do. The cycle continues.